right now. But I do really wish her the best. I do. And I'm going to be honest.
People are going to wish NaLyssa Smith the best. Most people like
I don't think anyone in their family really has that much of a filter, which I don't see anything wrong with that, to be honest, just in life.
When NaLyssa Smith was the next big thing for the Indiana Fever, well, that dream just went up in smoke. And now Smith is pointing fingers, but let's break down what really happened here, because this story is wild. Smith went from being the number 2 pick to riding the bench, and now she's out the door. But Fever, they're not looking back. They just pulled off a trade that might be the steal of the season. And you're going to want to hear all about the player who's coming in to save the day.
Oh, so in the same day as they get Natasha Howard.
When NaLyssa Smith was supposed to be the Indiana Fever's golden ticket, the one who was going to turn everything around and make the Fever relevant again, well, that dream just went up in smoke, and now we're left scratching our heads wondering what the heck happened.
Possibly adding 2 stars.
Let's rewind to 2022. Smith gets picked 2nd overall, all in the draft, and everyone's thinking this, is that the Fever finally got their superstar. The hype was real in her first 2 seasons. Smith was putting up some solid numbers, averaging 13 points and 8 rebounds per game. Not too shabby for a young player, right? But then things started to get weird. Smith's numbers, they're not just dropping, they're falling off a cliff by 2020. For she's barely scraping 10 points a game, and her rebounds down to a career low 7. When it's like watching a star burn out in real time.
Bringing Kelsey Mitchell back, and in year 2 of Caitlin.
Thinking maybe she just had a bad season. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Fever, they're not just benching Smith, they're completely changing their game. We're talking fast-paced, high-energy basketball, and Smith, she's looking like she's playing in slow motion. It's painful to watch.
Where all these people think NaLyssa Smith's value was so high, all of a sudden
They're getting restless. Social media is blowing up with people wondering why Smith's even on the court, and can you blame them when the game's on the line, when you need your star player to step up? Where Smith warming the bench, Coach Christie's side straight up said she doesn't trust Smith in crunch time. Ouch.
Mbawale has already welcomed NaLyssa Smith there.
It's not just about the numbers. The Fever are evolving, and Smith, she's stuck in the past. New head coach Stephanie White wants players who can shoot, defend multiple positions, and keep up with a modern WNBA. Smith, she's missing shots like it's going out of style. And her defense, let's just say it's not winning any award.
I got frustrated watching her play, and she represented, I think, the remnants of anything else that was wrong with the team, right? From the Christie side era and everything. And last year was a good year, all things considered. Wish her the best.
And just like that, the Fever decide they've had enough. Smith's gone, traded away faster than you can say draft bust. It's a brutal reminder that in pro sports, potential only gets you so far. You got to deliver or you're out.
When they started you for 3 years, and last year when you started, despite being a net negative, and they continue to start you, like the Fever, like to say it didn't work out is fine. Like it didn't work out. They still started you. That's more than Dallas are going to do.
But hold on, because this story is just getting started. You won't believe what Smith did next after getting traded. She took a dig at the Fever, basically saying they didn't appreciate her talk about adding insult to injury. It's like she forgot about all those games where she was practically invisible on the court.
The Fever had no intention. Like we all knew from the start, she was protected to be traded.
Drama's over, but hold on to your seats, because NaLyssa Smith just cranked it up to 11. The trade's barely official, and suddenly Smith's Instagram is blowing up like it's 4th of July. She's not just updating her profile, she's sending a message louder than a BU beater.
For any draft capital, if they cut Grace Berger, like if they could have gotten anything for Grace Berger, they would have taken stuff, but
picture this. Smith's Instagram bio changes faster than Caitlin Clark can sink a three-pointer. Gone are any mentions of the Fever, like she's trying to erase her entire history with the team. But here's where it gets really spicy. Smith doesn't just update her profile, she drops a bomb that's got everyone talking. She writes, and I'm quoting here, "To play for an organization that believes in me." Oh snap, did she really just say that?
I don't see the point in like calling out your ex-team. Like, I really don't see the point in it, because I'm like, there might be a stage sometime where you might have to go back.
You might be thinking that's not so bad, but let me tell you, in the WNBA, that's like setting off fireworks in the locker room. Smith's not just leaving the Fever, she's torching bridges and salting the earth on her way out. It's a digital disc that's got fans and analysts alike shaking their heads.
I actually do think she'll do well. And I think there is a chance that she does pretty well off the bench this year, and that coming into next season, they're cool with starting her at the 4.
You see, calling out your ex-team like that, it's not just unprofessional, it's career suicide. One analyst put it best. I don't see the point in calling out your ex-team like that. You don't want to burn bridges. Realistically, Smith might think she's standing up for her herself, but she's really just showing everyone why the Fever was right to trade her. Why? Because I'm saying, other teams, there's a lot of teams that would be okay with you playing on the bench. They gave Misha Hines Allen a max. They just gave Misha Hin Allen a max. You are the 2, maybe 3rd string power forward on this team. MTY Segrist was averaging 15 points per game till Natasha Har came back last year. You might be the 3rd choice power forward on this team. There is a non-0% chance you are the 3rd choice player at your position. The only thing is that Misha Hines Ison will have to play a bit of center duty, but you can't really play Hines Allen and NaLyssa Smith at the same time. But here's where it gets really interesting. While Smith's busy throwing shade, the Fever are making moves